In this video, we're starting a series where during the NFL season, after every single week, every team that won will steal a player from the team that they beat. So first up, on Thursday Night Football, we had the Detroit Lions beat the defending champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, every time a team steals a player, they have to trade back the starter at that position. So they're going to go ahead and steal Patrick Mahomes, 99 overall. So Jared Goff is headed to Kansas City, but Mahomes is now the new quarterback in Detroit. As for the Atlanta Falcons, they went ahead and beat their division rival, the Carolina Panthers, 24-10. And they already have a great running game. So Miles Sanders, even though he's tied for the highest overall, that's not who they're going to go with. Instead, they're going to bolster that defense and pick up Brian Burns, left outside linebacker. In return, they're giving back Bud Dupree. So they go up 14 overalls at that position. Huge upgrade for ATL. The Cleveland Browns with a dominant performance against the Cincinnati Bengals, 24-3. Now, there's a lot of good options on Cincinnati that they could go ahead and take, but they went with the most important position in the league, the quarterback. So now Joe Burrow's headed to Cleveland. Deshaun Watson is headed to Cincinnati. Another divisional matchup in which the Jaguars beat the Colts 31-21 in what was a very fun game to watch. But Jacksonville is going to make the good but not sexy pick and go with an offensive lineman, Quentin Nelson, 92 overall. In return, they give up a 71 overall Tyler Shatley. So they go up 21 overalls at the left guard position, helping out Trevor Lawrence a lot. Next up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Baker Mayfield, went into Minnesota and caught the W, 20-17. Now, they already have a phenomenal wide receiver core in Mike Evans, Godwin, but it doesn't matter. You have to take Justin Jefferson when you get an opportunity to. The only problem is now you have to give up Mike Evans. So you go up 9 overalls and you get arguably the best wide receiver in the league. You guys know I never ask you to do anything other than like the video. You know, I never ask for money. I never will ask for money. But this right here, this would help me so much if just 200 people could literally just click the link in the description or use the QR code on the screen to go ahead and download the free game Royal Match. Okay, that's all I need you to do. It'll help me out a lot. You know, every time someone uses my code, I get a portion, you know what I'm saying? I just got all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out, and it's pretty expensive. So that's all I ask. I will never ask you guys to spend money, but if you could take 2 minutes to just click the link, download it on the App Store, and hey, you might like it, because I love the game. Everyone I know, like close to me, that has downloaded it, loves the game. They're already addicted. It's a fun game. Try it out. But yeah, just do it for me, please. If I've ever helped you in any way, if I ever made you laugh, got you through a tough day, helped you in Madden, you know, just anything. This is all I'm asking, man. Just please go ahead, click the link. It'll help me out so much. It's free. You don't have to spend a dime. It takes 2 seconds of your time to get bars. But yeah, thank you so much to anyone that does. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. The New Orleans Saints defended their home field and caught the W against the Titans, 16-15. Another team with a lot of good options, but they have Michael Thomas and Olave at wide receiver. You have Kamara at running back, and you have the Honey Badger at safety. So Byard, Hopkins, or Henry would all be great options. But when you have an opportunity to get a guy that just had 2,000 yards, you have to do it. So Kamara is headed to Tennessee, and now you have Henry and Jamal Williams in the same backfield. The Niners arguably look like the best team on Sunday. They beat the Steelers 30-7. Pittsburgh has 3 guys that's a 93 or higher. All of them would help out the Niners. But San Fran's starting left outside linebackers, 68 overall, Oren Burks. So it was a no-brainer to go with the DPOY. They go up 26 overalls at that position. Huge upgrade for San Fran. Our next matchup, the Commanders beat the Cardinals 20-16. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. Now the question is, who do they take? Kyler Murray's down to an 80 overall with no abilities. Now he does have great speed, so taking Budda Baker would be a good move, and it's the one they're gonna make. Cameron Curl, good player, but Budda Baker is elite. They're gonna get a brand new starting strong safety. Now the Ravens beat the Texans 25-9, and they lost their starting running back J.K. Dobbins for the rest of the season. Just a sad story. He's been through so much, and he continues to be unlucky lucky. So we're going to release him from the Ravens since he won't be in the next roster update, which opens up a huge hole for a guy like maybe Dameon Pierce. However, one could make the argument for Laramie Tunsil, 95 overall left tackle. But Baltimore already has a 90+ overall left tackle, and theirs has abilities. So the Ravens are going to invest in the running back position, give their quarterback Lamar a slightly better running game, and go from there. The Green Bay Packers beat up on a division rival as well, 38-20 over the Chicago Bears. Jordan Love looked really good. First quarterback to throw for 3 touchdowns on a season, and he did it without Christian Watson. So in this experiment, he's going to be without Christian Watson for the rest of the year because they're getting a brand new wide receiver one, DJ Moore. Only 26 years old. He's an 87 with abilities. This one was a no-brainer. Now, me being an Eagles fan, I watched the entirety of their game against New England. Started off really high. The Patriots started battling back, and they looked actually pretty good. Mac Jones surprised me, but really, it was someone on their defense who surprised me more than anyone. Like, I knew he was good, but I did not know he would be this good. Christian Gonzalez was balling out there. However, we would have to give up big play Slay. So, yeah, I can't do that as much as I want to get him. So instead, we are going to make the obvious choice and go with Kyle Duggar plus 8 overalls at the strong safety 1 spot, and Philly's defense gets better. Yet another divisional matchup. The Las Vegas Raiders took on the Denver Broncos and spoiled their home debut. Jimmy G just continues to win, man. That's all this guy does. And now they get to take someone from Denver. I didn't get to watch the game, so I'm not sure how he did, but Marcus Peters, from what I've seen of him in the past, he's been always really solid. However, you can't pass up a guy like Patrick Surtain II. The Raiders have a new CB1. And what I think was the most entertaining game of the weekend, the Miami Dolphins beat the Los Angeles Chargers in a back and forth battle. Tyreek was out there looking unstoppable. And now because of him, they get to go ahead and steal someone from the Chargers. And I didn't have to think twice, man. They're going with Derwin James at the strong safety position. Their offense is fine. Tua, Waddle, Tyreek, they're good. Their defense is going to get a nice boost though. Deshaun Elliott is headed to LA. The Rams caught the W against the Seahawks in what was one of the more surprising wins in week 1. Only because Cooper Kupp didn't even play. And you had guys like Tutu Atwell, Puka Nacua step up for Stafford in that offense. Right now, the Rams' best cornerback is Ahkello Witherspoon. 28 with normal dev, only a 75. Why not get a guy like Tariq Woolen to be your new CB1? He had a great week 1, and now he's going to LA. On Sunday Night Football, we had the biggest blowout of week 1, man. The Giants got clobbered 40-0 by the Dallas Cowboys. That defense is looking like arguably the best one in the league. And guess what? They're gonna get even better. Osa Odigizua is actually a really solid player. But if you can get a guy like Dexter Lawrence, a 94 overall X Factor, you cannot pass up that opportunity. Dallas gets even stronger on the front 7. Prayers go out to Aaron Rodgers, man. You really do hate to see someone get injured, but especially in the first few plays of the season. After all the hype in the offseason, you just can't help but feel bad for them. So he's out for the year. He's no longer going to be on the Jets in this experiment, which means now they have a 69 overall Zach Wilson leading the way. But after beating the Buffalo Bills and that defense just straight up harassing Josh Allen, forcing him to throw 3 interceptions, they've earned themselves a nice little upgrade at the most important position. I know he didn't look too good in real life, but Madden is a whole different story. The Jets have a new quarterback one. Josh Allen is headed to New York. So a lot of faces have changed franchises in just week 1 of our Steal a Player series. We're going to go ahead and sim to the Super Bowl, see who wins. But in week 2, we will come back and continue from this point and keep on stealing players from the losing teams. We end up with Dallas and Cleveland getting the 1 seeds. Cowboys, remember, added Dexter Lawrence to their D-line. Cleveland added Joe Burrow, and both teams made it to the Super Bowl. MVP went to Burrow on the Browns. Kirk Cousins led the way in terms of passing yards. Here's everybody that was in the top 10. Burrow with a great ratio, but Jacoby Brissett ended up the starter in Washington. He had the most passing touchdowns, but Bryce Young had a slightly better ratio than Burrow. 33 touchdowns, 2 picks. Jacobs had the most rushing yards in the league. Not too many teams stole a running back, but Kamara was traded to Tennessee. Derrick Henry in New Orleans had the 3rd most rushing touchdowns behind Jones and Jacobs. Cooper Kupp had the most receiving yards in the league. Evans in Minnesota, him and Osborne both in the top 5, but so was Jefferson in Tampa Bay. Here's a look at everyone else. Tyreek didn't quite get 2,000. I still think he might in real life. Evans had the most receptions in the league in this experiment. Only 3 guys had 100 plus. 14 touchdowns for Christian Kirk to lead everyone. On defense, Devondre Campbell had the most tackles. 26 sacks for Vaughn. He breaks the record. Donald was right behind him. Then you had Jones, Parsons, Rousseau. 7 picks for Murphy, Bunning, and Gilmore. And then a ton of guys with 6. So here we go in the Super Bowl. Dak in this offense. We'll start off with the football. Oh, wow. Good blitz. Up the gut. Almost forces a pick. Now, don't get it twisted. The Browns have a nasty defense. This is arguably 2 of the best defenses we saw in week 1. Myles Garrett, big reason why. Dak Prescott gonna take off. Like, I know it's just week 1, so we don't want to overact too much. And the Bengals usually start slow over the past couple years. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The Browns looked much improved. They added Zadarius, added some talent on defense, and they start off with a 3-and-out on the first possession of the Super Bowl. Here is Joe Burrow behind that Browns O-line, which is actually really solid. And he's going deep on the first play. Elijah Moore pushing them into Dallas territory. And the Browns get 7 on the first drive. Chubb up the gut, gonna lower his shoulder and get the touchdown. So Cleveland gets the first points of the big game. Now, can they keep the lead? You knew the Cowboys would get it going eventually. We go into the second half in a tie ball game. Still a very close game in the fourth quarter. Will one team break away? 44 seconds left for Dak and this offense to get into field goal range and win this ball game. Ferguson with a nice run after the catch. Shotgun formation. Here comes the pressure. Dak finds Ferguson again. They're across midfield. 2 timeouts left. They need about maybe 15 yards, maybe a little bit more. Dak over the middle to CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys are inside the 5. Ferguson has been balling, 13 for 112, and now his team is up in the Super Bowl. Dallas wins the first Super Bowl of this experiment, but Cleveland is showing they're not going to be an easy team to beat. Throughout the series, when Chubb is running like this, 24 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. That has to be a record. Unbelievable performance, man. He has to be a little pissed off that his team did not win when he put together that type of performance. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like the video, and please, like I said, download the link in the description. It'll take 2 minutes. That's all, man. That's it. I promise you'll like the game. If you don't, you can delete it, uninstall, but you're helping me if you download the game, man. That I would greatly appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you on the next one.